It's a little breezy out there right now, but Ted says we could be in for some storms later.
Look at the possibility of thunderstorms this evening, Jess, after sunset. It's when a cold front comes in. And ahead of that front, we have the winds really kicking up, though. And something we haven't talked about in really weeks. It's been a while since we've had to deal with gusty winds, even using that terminology in our weather, because August has been relatively mellow, aside from some rounds of thunderstorms. And, of course, that one round of severe weather last week with some strong wind gusts. But otherwise, windy and warm Wednesdays, they haven't been happening all that often. But today we have one of those happening. We're looking at blue sky toward the south as we look outside with our Lewiston Auto Camera. CC Heights here in Rochester, already matching our high temperature from yesterday. 77 this hour, 79 meanwhile in Austin, Mason City 78, and already low 80s toward north and west, Zumbrota and in Red Wing, low 80s in that area. Sunny skies here, a gusty day, 18 miles per hour, gust now to 29 this hour. We likely will see a gust to exceed 35 miles per hour, but that hasn't happened very often. Keep in mind that August, on average, is the least windy month. So if there's a month where you're not going to have a lot of gusts, this is it. And after today, we still have a couple of fairly breezy days as our weather is going to be kind of interesting. There are going to be some transitions happening, but overall, typically, August isn't this type of situation, but 77, that is typical for August, and the dew point 63 yields a heat index of 79. Up north, we have some 80s on the map, and to the west as well. That warmth has been building in over the past 24 hours. Ahead of an approaching cold front, and we see the line of clouds associated with that. Here comes some showers beginning to pop up ahead of that cold front as it pushes south and eastward. It's going to feed on this increasingly unstable atmosphere, and by this evening, you're talking about 9 or 10 o'clock after sunset, we see thunderstorms, and some may become strong to severe just for a few hours. And once that front moves through tomorrow, a cool down for a day. And then the heat really ramps up for the weekend. We're going to talk about some big-time heat for several days. But future track today, a breezy, warm, sun-filled day. Gusts around 35, maybe 38 miles per hour. Temperatures well into the 80s. So seasonably warm. And it's going to feel maybe just a little warmer than that because the humidity building up. Showers and thunderstorms move in with that approaching cold front. We watch that in future track. Primarily after about 9 or 10 o'clock, the first of those storms coming in. Activity moves out just after midnight, and then skies clearing before sunrise tomorrow. A cool northwest breeze. Temperatures tomorrow in mid-70s, so a big change. Mid-80s today, mid-70s tomorrow. Kind of a gusty breeze tomorrow with that cool air coming in. Then heading into Friday, high pressure right on top of us. A cool morning, and then a slight south breeze. The sunshine in the afternoon starts the warming process as we again see the warmth build in. Low 80s on Friday, but much more heat for the weekend. Severe weather risk level 2 of 5. The Storm Prediction Center outlook for this evening, mainly from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. I think we're talking about most of our area, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. The best chance for that large hail and damage winds. The primary threat can't completely rule out a tornado, but much better chance of that happening north and west of us as it stands right now. And the thunderstorm chances confined to a relatively short period of time before midnight as that line moves on through. Temperatures at mid-80s today, upper 50s tonight behind that front, and then much cooler tomorrow, mid-70s. Looking at the upper level pattern, though, the jet stream begins to push back northward and is moving into that Friday, then Saturday time frame. Here comes the heat coming in a hurry, and it's going to last for at least 4 or 5 days. That blast of warmth that helps us reach numbers at least about 15 degrees above the seasonal average for highs. 84 today, mostly sunny, windy and warm, gusts at times 35 miles per hour. Tonight, evening thunderstorms for a few hours before midnight. Clearing off late, 59 with the northwest breeze, still around 20 miles per hour. It's still kind of gusty tomorrow, some sun, a few passing clouds, a high of 75, winds at times 25 miles per hour. It'll be 77 in Austin tomorrow, 77 in Mason City, so a bit cooler than today. And then 7-day forecast right around 90 over the weekend and close to that number right through about the middle of next week before we see things cool a bit in the longer term. So about a spell of about 4, maybe 5 days of much above average weather temperature-wise and a little more humidity too.
A lot of people going to be heading to the pool this weekend.
A good weekend for it. You don't know how many of these really hot weekends we have left this season.
Yeah, got to make the most of it somehow. Thank you, Ted.